Top of the morning to you. Come in and have a little sip of coffee with me. Just sit down and relax for a few moments. Enjoy the little YouTube. Have a little sip of coffee, right? Cheers. There we go. 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians, I don't know how you would call it or what you would call it. A book about trouble. Paul said in 2 Corinthians chapter 1 verses 7 and following, I wouldn't have you ignorant, brethren, concerning the things that have befallen me. And then he talked about how the death sentence and all of these things happened to him in Asia Minor. And he talked about all of these horrific things going on in his life. And then he said, and these things happened to me so that I would not rely on self, but rely on him who gives us the strength and the power to live the life. But the book of 2 Corinthians is about trouble. And how Paul, the Apostle Paul, overcomes failure. 2 Corinthians chapter 10, they criticized him about his speech. They implied he wasn't much of a preacher by the way he talked. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, you get a list of the things that befell him, the whippings, the hunger, the thirst, the persecution. But there's so many principles. And that we can learn here from this wonderful, wonderful book, and of course from Paul himself. Number one, we are just clay. We're not perfect. Are you listening? We've never been perfect, and we never will be perfect. We have this treasure, here's what it says, verse 7. We have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power of God be where it should be, in God and not in us. Football games. Football is a game of mistakes. And it seems to be those who make the fewest mistakes win. Clay pots, earthen vessels. Never perfect. We break. We wear out. Sometimes we're just put aside for better ones. Remember, we're clay. Therefore, expect trouble. There's going to be cracks. There's going to be replacements. There's going to be breaking clay pots. So maybe we need to set the goal. Maybe we need to aim at perfection and accept imperfection. That was Paul through and through. If you failed in the past, if you failed last week, if you've made mistakes, listen to me. Don't make excuses for your failure. If you make excuses, you re-establish the cause that made you fall in the first place. And the pride and the ego, the best thing to do is acknowledge our weakness. And stop blaming others for your failure. If you blame others for your failure, and you gloss over your weakness that made you fail, you can't learn, you can't grow, you can't build that character. And don't blame circumstances for your failure. If you blame things, you bind yourself to, you hinder the road to success. And there's no way we can succeed. Don't blame the circumstances. If you failed, hear from Paul. Forgetting the things that are behind. Press towards the future We always forget our failure. Press towards the goal, always realizing that we're never going to be perfect. No matter what's going on in your life, press forward. Life is a struggle, and you must overcome your imperfection, overcome your outward problems, and overcome your circumstances. Paul says in verse 9, we were troubled on every side. There will be troubles in life. And if you think not, you're setting yourselves up for failure. Because the purpose of life is to overcome troubles. Troubles don't just come from one source. The Bible says, from every side. Church people, from your children, from your boss, from your spouse, from your bank. There's always something to keep you awake at night. And make the choice that I will not go down. The Apostle Paul writes, I was persecuted, but I was not forsaken. I was cast down, but I was not destroyed. Verse 9. Life is a choice. When you're cast down, I'm not staying down. When you're cast out, I'm not staying out. You choose to get up. You choose to get into the fight. And we need to set the goal to be different. And we need to choose to be happy. We need to choose to be positive. We don't have to go through life negative, negative, negative. Don't fear failure. Re-establish your goals. And make the necessary change that you have to make. To begin with, we must believe in tomorrow. Get up. Start all over again. Today was a terrible day. It rained on your parade, but you must believe after the rain comes what? The sunshine. Get up. It's going to be okay. The Apostle Paul was troubled and troubled and troubled. And the Bible says, don't rely on your own strength yourself. Rely on him who is able to save you, to keep you, to love you, to protect you. May you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week.